Back again once again to talk about everyone's favorite new Shadow Moth. So in this video, I want to discuss kind of this crazy idea I have. The idea that Lila's time as Shadow Moth might be shorter than everyone thinks it will be. So in this video, I want to talk about how Lila's time as Shadow Moth will be shorter than Gabriel's. Much shorter. The 5 reasons why I believe that. One thing a character needs to be Shadow Moth is that you need to be ready to lose often and accept it, which will be my reason number 1. Like there are 3 certainties in life: death, taxes, and Gabriel taking a L. The fact that Gabriel didn't start tweaking to season 5.
Didn't you know using too many miraculous at once is dangerous?
And that was only because he was on death's door is actually kind of amazing. Pretty much all I am saying is that in order to be Shadow Moth, you need to be okay with losing. I don't think Lila can handle it. Part of the reason is because of how she does her planning. Her planning is usually more hands-on with her doing the plan, such as getting herself acclimatized in the season 5 episode revelation to get the information about Gabriel from Natalie.
Revelation. Gabriel Agrest is an alien. He must have other secrets hidden inside his house. You will use your smartphone, not your alliance, to deliver them to me, and then you will erase any trace of that transmission.
She was also the one last season that hacked Gabriel's security system to get access to the system. This kinda opposite Gabriel does for the most part. Gabriel is usually more away from the battle and letting others do the job. For example, just to show you, and I might be wrong about this, Gabriel didn't make an appearance till the 2nd season finale. An appearance in front of Ladybug, I'm meaning. Chronically, of course, since he was there in the season 1 finale origins. It's not like Lila has a bad approach to it also. Her plans work better in my opinion, since she is able to control the factors better versus leaving it to someone else. But when it fails, it can also cause more mental damage to her. Like just look at the London special after one of her plans failed. This is season 5 Gabriel level mental breakdown right here. If she is gonna be like this every time she fails, how is she gonna be Shadow Moth for multiple seasons? To be Shadow Moth, you need to have something wrong in the head with you, in my opinion. Looking at you, Mr. Freeze wife container over here.
Tonight, Emily, our rings will once again be united. I've invited your sister and Felix. I have every intention of getting back what he stole from me.
Just a quick disclaimer, I'm someone that takes mental health seriously, and if you need help, please get it. That out of the way. If you watch the show, especially with Lila, she kinda lies a lot, and it is not cute little lies like sneaking out to a party.
Why did Jagged Stone write a song about Lila when he could have written it about me?
Lila knows all of the Hollywood directors. She promised she'd mention me to Steven Spielberg himself.
Lila?
Yeah, she just started at our school. She even gave me an exclusive interview for the Lady blog.
This girl literally had a separate personality at a separate school for a whole year.
The war is only just starting. Be ready.
Oh, Cerise, is your movie shoot over?
We didn't think we'd see you again before the end of the school year. Yes, I moved heaven and earth.
And then at Marinette's school, her lies are so out of pocket. There was literally a time she missed school in the show. Instead of just saying, hey guys, I was sick, she literally says she was in a different country hanging out with another prince. Like what? And when her mom asks her, hey dear, why are you home a lot? She makes some lie about being online at school or something like that. Lilas need to lie, and history of a mental problem is my second reason. And for those asking whatever, there is actually a disorder for Lila's lying called compulsive lying mythomania. And here are some of the symptoms for it. Lying constantly and lying that is excessive. Grandiose if you may. That sounds like Lila and her monthly Prince meetings. And the problem with lying is you gotta remember it. Why Lila is lying, I don't know. My opinion, and I have mentioned this in my other videos, but I believe something happened to her when she was younger. Like maybe her family has some history of villainy in France. I don't know, like Jack the Ripper, and wants to distance herself from it as much as possible with a separate personality. Her lying hasn't been too much of a problem now, but when you think about all the mental toll the lying is gonna take on her, it won't end well. Like, she was caught lying last season and had to leave school. So, if you have been keeping up with the news, Miraculous has just been renewed for the 10th season, and Thomas has said multiple times he would like the show to go on for 12 seasons, not even at the half point right now. One Piece or Ladybug, someone's gotta blink first. The writers of the show have already written some future stuff. This is confirmed with Season 7 and the Supreme storyline already written, so I like to think they have plans. We also know that Shadow Moth might continue into the future, at least 10 years in the future, thanks to the Season 3 episode Time Tagger, where an older Chris got acclimatized.
Come on, Chris. Let's go home.
Chris?
We still don't know if this is Lila or not, and this goes into my third reason, the presence of possible other candidates. It is possible that the Shadow Moth mentioned in Time Tagger is a different Shadow Moths in the future.
The future bird catches the worm. This time, the miraculous are mine.
You're right on the first count, but not on the second. The miraculous are not for you.
What?
I said I was sent by the Hawk Moth of the future, but I never said the Hawk Moth of the future was you.
Let's remember, Gabriel was Shadow Moth only for a year in the show. I don't know if Leah could survive this for 10 years. That would be wild. It's also possible that Lila is also being set up for the Supreme from the Claw Noir special. It has mentioned before that his storyline has been written. The Supreme can only really appear in a special or as a season villain. I'm starting to think not so much the specials, due to the Ladybug crew just starting to write Rio. To me, how would they write his storyline in a special that has characters in it that haven't been written yet? The Supreme I am talking about. The only specials that have been worked on so far are Rio and Tokyo, which is going to be a spin-off pretty much. Also, to add to that, it seems that they are going to be using the specials to introduce spin-offs and focus on new characters. All of this would make it easier to introduce the Supreme into the main show. It's possible Lila has a mental breakdown after this season, and they use the Supreme for a season or two, and then bring back Lila, or have them work together for a season. So, this next one is kinda a small factor, but may play a role in this. Thomas himself has stated that Lila is the hardest character for him to write for, which is my fourth reason. That was why Lila wasn't mentioned in Season 4. This was a comment that was mentioned before going into Season 6. This could mean Season 6 was already written. It's possible through all the struggle of writing for Lila this season, Thomas decided that, hey, let's not continuously do this and maybe try a new villain this time. Also, I'm not gonna lie, Lila is kinda too smart to be Shadow Moth for too long, to be honest. I'm afraid they are gonna have to dumb her down to be Shadow Moth for a long time. This is just my last reason, and this is just me, pretty much talking recklessly. I think the show might be trying to set up an Adrian Shadow Moth villain season. One, the show has shown multiple times that it has no problem akumatizing Adrian.
Ephemeral. I am your father, Shadow Moth. I'm giving you the power to speed up time and help me bring your mother back. All I
2. Adrian will have multiple reasons to be akumatized next season. You have the death of his father and everyone around him lying to him. Let's not forget the other 2 times he has become akumatized in Cat Blanc and Ephemeral. It was due to his family.
Cat Blanc. I'm giving you the infinite power of destruction. Together you and I will seize Ladybug's miraculous and awaken your mother.
Bring the truth about his father up and see what happens. Third reason being the show has spent the last couple of seasons pushing aside the Cat Noir and Ladybug relationship. Thomas has said himself he doesn't look at Adrian as a main character. So in this video I spoke about the possible future for Lila. If you want to hear me talk about Lila or her possible futures, click on these videos.